Hello. Here I'll do this. Here's a nice question because I think it illustrates really what you need to know about trigonometric functions. So we want to evaluate these 6 trigonometric functions for each value of theta. Okay, so here's what you want to know in general. Okay, so for the trigonometric functions, they're sort of determined by the position, right? The x and y coordinate on this circle. So for example, if this is the x coordinate and the let's call this the y coordinate, if you pick a point on here, right? Well, on what? On this is the unit circle, x squared plus y squared equals 1. Okay. So if you pick a point on here, one thing that you need to know very well is that the coordinates of this point on the circle are cosine theta and sine theta. Okay, where theta is really the arc length here of this segment, right? So, all right, so then this is where all of the basic values of the cosine and sine come from. So in this case, we want theta to be minus 3 pi over 4. Okay, so what that means, we go 3 clicks in the negative direction, right? So 1, 2, 3. So there's right here is a point, right? So what we can think of also, we allow for theta to be negative. So if you traverse this way by 3 pi over 4, then you arrive at this point on the unit circle, and it has coordinates exactly what we need. Cosine of negative 3 pi over 4, okay, and the sine of negative 3 pi over 4. All right. And then you've seen this in your trig classes and such. You can use geometry and these special triangles, they call them, to try to find the coordinates of that point. And that comes from, and you may recall, I hope, that we would know essentially the value of the cosine and the sine at pi over 4, and then just use the geometry here to write down the answer. So this is the point minus the square root of 2 over 2. And both x and the y are negative in this case, so this is negative the square root of 2 over 2. So based upon that, you can write down all the values of the trigonometric functions. So for example, the sine of this is, well, it's right there. It's negative the square root of 2 over 2. The cosine is negative the square root of 2 over 2. Now the tangent, you need to know the definition of the tangent, which is it's the sine over the cosine. So that would give us 1 here. The cotangent is the cosine over the sine, so that's 1. And then the secant is, well, these are kind of a little bit ridiculous. The secant, you see, is 1 over the cosine, so that would be 2 over the square root of 2, right? Negative 2 over the square root of 2. And similarly, for the cosecant would be negative 2 over the square root of 2. So the idea here is that whenever you're asked questions about the trigonometric functions, you have to have a very good sort of notion of how these values are defined and found, and then you use your knowledge of the definition of the other trigonometric functions to calculate the others. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, thank you very much.